Hello, we are Group 11 for Enterprise Application Architecture. Our research report studies how cloud computing can benefit the EA of healthcare organizations. Healthcare organizations are undergoing a major informational shift in their use of data and digital health technologies, especially since the outbreak of the pandemic. The purpose of the report is to explore the benefits of implementing cloud-based enterprise architecture in healthcare in order to solve the challenges that healthcare organizations face today. We will include 4 different enterprise architecture frameworks in the report. The first one is the Zachman. It was firstly described by Zachman in the 1980s. It's more of a planning tool rather than a methodology for implementation. The Federal Enterprise Architecture Framework was developed by the US federal government. It's a reference model for the EA framework. The Open Group Architecture Framework provides organizations with a balance between the need for IT efficiency and the need for business change, which has earned it a recognition as a global best practice for enterprise architecture. The talk of methodology describes how enterprise architectures should be designed, planned, implemented, and governed. Adaptive Integrated Digital Architecture Framework is a new framework designed to drive digital transformation. It takes cloud computing and mobile IT into consideration when defining this framework. It's a framework that integrates adaptive EA with existing EA frameworks for different business units corresponding to each strategy in medium to long run in alignment. It approves the agile capability for organizations to adapt digital strategy and innovation. Cloud computing in healthcare refers to implementation of a remote internet-based servers to store, manage, and process patient clinical data. Additionally, there are 3 types of cloud computing services. SaaS is a public cloud service leased to hospital on a subscription basis. Infrastructure as a service enables hospitals to control their own computing and networking components over the internet. Usually as a pay-as-you-go model without being required to manage their physical data center. With PaaS, healthcare organizations can integrate their existing EMRs, devices, and IT system into a single platform. Majority of healthcare organizations have a large profile data and processing system that faces especially interoperability problems and redundancy with data exchange. With service-oriented architecture, components can be reused and improvable in several different ways. Thus, service-oriented architecture eases deployment of cloud computing for healthcare organizations, and it plays a key role in integrating existing applications into cloud-based systems and between clouds. In our research, firstly, we'll disassemble the enterprise architecture in 4 layers. Why the 4 layers? Because EA is always a complex model with multiple components. From various literature and EA models, such as what we discussed before, Zachman, Federal, and Open Group Architecture Framework, they all divided EA into similar 4 components and reach a consensus. Therefore, we'll use that 4 layers to represent the necessary component of a generalized EA architecture. Then we research how cloud computing can benefit each of the 4 layers of EA in healthcare organizations. We will later discuss details of the 8 benefits we summarized of applying cloud computing in healthcare organizations and our recommendations for future adoption of cloud computing in healthcare.
Okay, let's now move on to the cloud benefits in 4 layers. In business layer, there are 2 main benefits of cloud computing in healthcare organization. The first one is strengthen and utilize an organization's internal processes in healthcare market. In Cloud EA, information could be simply shared among different departments, which means employees could be exposed to the same infrastructure and could operate simultaneously without further communication and improve the level of optimization. In addition to that, Cloud EA could allow employees to access the ERP platform to copy data through different devices, possibly improving flexibility and employee participation rate. Also, with the limited resources, the flexible working environment could allow departments to concentrate more on reaching business strategic goals. Another benefit would be the improvement of business IT alignment. In a cloud-based environment, several technical tasks would be transferred to the cloud provider, which could lead to a reassignment of roles within the IT department. Consequently, IT staffs could concentrate more on the business-related or strategic issues. Also, software as a service could allow business users to bypass IT function from a cloud provider directly. Therefore, the business and IT department would no longer need to understand each other's domains. Instead, business applications could be accessed directly from the cloud provider. In addition to that, the elasticity of the IT system would be improved. Further points out that changing needs of the business would be responded immediately and the cloud-based enterprise architecture to allow the system rapidly to scale up and scale down. Also, as AAS could limit the changing environment and changing requirement of the business structure because customization options are limited by the service providers, which could limit the frequency of business changes and consequently improve the business IT alignment.
Next section is cloud computing benefits in application layer. The people who need to use healthcare IT system to exchange information include doctors, nurses, patients, and other stakeholders. As a result, the interaction and operations among them are complex. At the application layer, the first benefit is that cloud computing can help extend new functions and increase scalability. Platform as a service cloud computing has given rise to new application frameworks and application programming interface that help expand new functions, and APIs make it easy for experienced developers to add any features they want. There are some cases that support this benefit. For example, the Android API can use to develop applications to implement safe and reliable medical systems. A Portuguese hospital has introduced API tools that allow users to navigate to targeted details by selecting business process through their own actions. In addition, cloud computing opens up new opportunities for health technologies such as digital imaging and electronic health records in the US and Europe. The second benefit is the facilitation of application integration. For healthcare organizations, they enabled enterprise integration through application integration to ensure the ability to provide more comprehensive healthcare services. For example, a web application has been designed to operate large amounts of healthcare data. It integrates almost all the progress, including uploading, deleting, retrieving, and compressing. A three-tier architecture is proposed that integrated the patient side, doctor side, and an administration application to facilitate the operation of all participants. Moreover, the combination of cloud computing and Internet of Things helps to provide convenient healthcare services, such as home healthcare stations.
Hi, and I will introduce how cloud benefits the data layer of enterprise architecture. A cloud computing benefits the data architecture in healthcare organizations in mainly two ways. It enhances data access and enables data interoperability. A cloud computing provides lower thresholds for users to access the healthcare services because users can access the service not only by desktop client, but also from web browser, or any device can connect to internet. Besides, it allows users to rent ICT devices or use virtual service instead of owning their physical devices. It also provides a better access management by a hybrid cloud architecture. But this architecture fits the different access requirements of users and preserves a sound access control mechanism. Cloud technologies also enables data interoperability in many aspects. In the patient treatment area, the cloud supports real-time data transactions to avoid delay in emergency treatments. It also has constant data sharing to monitor the patient's status with the chronic illness. In business operation, the cloud supports data interconnection among departments and countless third-party services. In pharmacy inventory management, cloud can enhance collaborative information sharing to avoid the drug shortage in the supply chain. Actually, it helps in the supply chain management.
Now let me introduce the technology and infrastructure level. The development of cloud computing provides support for the efficient operation of hospital information systems. Cloud computing also has many benefits for hospital organizations to support internal and external users and customers. It enhances data security, simplifies data processing, and provides high-quality care and cost-effective solutions. Cloud services also facilitate data sharing between physicians and other healthcare providers and allow them access data remotely. There are two main advantages of cloud computing in healthcare in terms of technology and infrastructure. The first point is that it can help enhance healthcare system security and disaster recovery. The second point is to improve the reliability and governance of the healthcare system. First point, IoT devices use the healthcare management system at risk compared to the past. When healthcare organizations had to purchase and maintain all the necessary hardware and software, often with poor security, as well as poor ability to protect personal privacy and mobile device security issues. And now cloud computing technology is applied in the background to integrate existing hardware, update technology, and simplify procedures to form an effective operation and maintain model with high availability, high maintainability, high scalability, and low cost. In a disaster, the backup side can store all data and automatically take over the applications to meet the requirement of zero data loss backup. The second point is that hospitals no longer need to evaluate the latest IT infrastructure, which increases the reliability of components and the organization's ability to better management and leverage infrastructure components. Increasingly, patients are monitored in real time, which provides patients' health as quick as possible and helps reduce the overall cost of patient care. For the recommendations, our analysis concluded 8 cloud adoption benefits in 4 EA layers of healthcare organizations as our key findings. We further proposed a decision tree model for organizations to decide whether they should consider cloud computing to solve their pain point. An example of pain point is also provided to demonstrate the decision's progress. The pain point example is related to both the application and data layer and matched with data interoperability and application interoperability. So cloud computing and SOA architecture could be considered potential solutions. Finally, our group's report is based on 4 different layers of analysis of the current healthcare industry. Cloud computing in the healthcare industry can facilitate application integration, enhance data access, and enable data interoperability. Standardization of healthcare systems can reduce costs. However, cloud computing is still lacking in the healthcare industry. Risks associated with cloud adoption are also on the rise, including breaches in the security and privacy of patient data. As hospitals, pharmacies, and medical centers use data resources in different formats, these organizations must have a shared data repository so that cloud computing can access homogenized information and manage it. In the future, the healthcare industry needs to establish a secure trust system and improve interoperability. By promoting security services, the integration between various applications in the healthcare industry will follow certain architecture and technical specifications, resulting in a framework for integration in the healthcare industry that all parties can adopt. Thanks for watching.